Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mark from Right Line Trading, and there are a lot of traders still coming. So I'm just going to give it 60 more seconds, and then we're going to start.
I don't hear you or see your screen.
Okay, you should hear me okay, and you should be seeing my screen. Okay, well, good evening, everyone. This is Mark from Right Line Trading, and this evening I'm going to be going over the Trade Analyzer or a market scanner, uh, which you're going to find to be extremely helpful in trading and quite different from anything else that's out there. And I just want to quickly start with this disclaimer. It's not going to be a really long um, webinar, but all signals and trading opportunities provided both orally, written, or electronically that are disclosed to visitors or subscribers are for educational and demonstration purposes only. Right Line Tradings take no responsibility for any participation by visitors or subscribers within futures or forex markets, nor for any profits or losses that may be incurred. Trading in the futures and forex markets involves substantial risk. It should be understood that a person can lose a substantial amount of money. Therefore, the participation in these markets is not appropriate for everyone. Careful consideration of your financial position should be made prior to trading. And those of us here at Right Line are not registered financial advisors, and we're not licensed commodity trading advisors. Now, what I wanted to show you, and I rarely show you other people's software, but unfortunately, I think it's important for me to show you what a very typical scanner looks like. Now, to me, this pretty much looks like the dashboard of a spaceship. Now, it's really not in essence. I guess in essence, it is a stock scanner or a market scanner, but it's really not telling you the best stocks to trade, the best futures markets, or the best forex markets to trade. All it's doing is doing what our analyzer does. It takes all of this data, puts it together, and shows you whether the stock, future, or Forex you're looking at is really in an advantageous position to trade. So instead of having to look at a window that says low volume, high of day Momo scanner, V5, V8, reversal hybrid scanner, of which I have no idea what that is, you know, RSI extremes. Now, we both know that oscillators can be overbought and oversold for hours, days, weeks, months, gappers, if you want, I guess if you want to trade a gap, but it doesn't provide you with any information regarding whether or not it's really a good entry. And that's the problem. So what we wanted to do was provide you with a tool that puts this all together. And that's what we've done. And I want to show you our scanner. You're not going to have to look at all of this data, and you're not going to go crazy trying to find a good instrument to trade. Let me take this down. And let me move the chart across. And show you our analyzer. Now, the analyzer doesn't break everything up into very specific parameters. What it does is it simply tells you whether the instrument is in a really excellent position to buy, sell, or all of those independent variables, those parameters that you look at are simply not aligned and therefore not available to trade. Now, before I show you how configurable it is, because you can trade any instrument on any time frame at all, I can just show you right now, if we look at a couple of stocks that are up here, exactly why it's giving you the signal. Now you can see one of the signals that you're getting is MCD, and that's McDonald's. Now, I don't have, the only things I'm going to add to this chart, which for some reason are not here, and they should be, are two quick things. One sec. Just the modified fast and the modified slow. That's it. There's 7, and we're good to go. That's it. Now, let's bring the scanner back. And let's take a look at why McDonald's is flashing a buy. Now, if you look here, you're going to see that first of all, on the right edge, this is our quant line. And this shows all the correlative markets or ETFs or indices that move up when McDonald's moves up. And basically, it's an analysis of money flow. And when it's green, it tells you that money is flowing into McDonald's. I mean, it's analyzing data from multiple other instruments, and it's telling you they're all aligning in the appropriate direction to give you a long trade on McDonald's. The second, this line is a Laguerre oscillator. I believe it's the best way to track momentum of, of any other instrument. It's much better than a MACD. And of all the oscillators, RSI, stochastic, Williams percent K, those are all created to look for divergence. The Laguerre is made to create a momentum analysis, and this dark green tells you that on the 15-minute and the 45-minute, the Laguerre is locked to the top of the chart, and what you've got is tremendous buying pressure. Now, there's also one other indicator that is not here, and I'm sorry, let me put it in. Let's look here, signal B. Add it. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me bring it down and add it. Sorry, these haven't been added. I'm just going to move it up. There we go. Now, so this is looking at a multi-time frame analysis of momentum and telling us that the momentum line is plastered to the 100 line. Now that's significant buying pressure and really only occurs when all of these instruments in the quant line are showing you that money is flowing into the stock. And really, it only occurs really almost always on institutional moves. And then we look at the chart Laguerre. And the chart Laguerre is this lower line. And it's also plastered to the 0 line or the 100 line. So you have green, green, both Laguerres, looking at 3 time frames. You have a multi-time frame assessment of the correlative indices that track with McDonald's, whether it be ETFs or other stocks that trade in the same basket. They're all moving up with McDonald's on a multi-time frame basis. And McDonald's is in a multi-time frame trend to the upside. That's what this green background means. So what the analyzer is telling us, or the scanner, is that if we want to look at McDonald's, it's in a great position for a buy. Now the buy actually occurred right here. Right there. Because it moves sideways. As soon as this, you're not going to get a buy signal on the analyzer unless background is green. You need a multi-time frame alignment of trend on the scanner, on the analyzer, and you need green, green, and green, both Laguerres and the quant and the background and the 50 green and the 15 green, and you already got yourself. I mean, it's right at the close of the market, but all I can show you right now is the right edge of the chart, and you see that you really got a really advantageous trade. This would have gone green. As soon as it did, you would have gone to McDonald's and be able to capture a nice move to the upside. Now, let's take a look at a stock that's heading down. Let's look at Apple. And you can see, go to the scanner, Apple is giving us a sell signal right here. And if we look at Apple and where it's positioned right at the close, Apple has a multi-time frame alignment to the downside. And the only direction you can trade Apple is short. When you have the two higher time frames aligned to the downside, you certainly can't trade Apple long. All the correlative markets, ETFs, the three most important additional financial instruments that track in the same direction of Apple are also heading down. This is an analysis of money flow. The multi-time frame Liggear is heading down. I mean, it's locked down. It's red. And look at the direction of the chart Liggear. It's that magenta line. It's heading down. So you've got red, red. Liggear is heading down. Background bias aligned to the red is pink. Multi-time frame alignment of Apple to the downside. And if this opportunity had a chance to play out, Apple may really have had an opportunity to take a dive. And you've got a nice sell on Apple. It's in a great position to take a short trade. And let's take a look at one more. Now, we can also do this on Forex, and we can do this on futures. And let's look at Home Depot. This Home Depot had a good day today in an overall bad market day. So you don't want to deal with gappers and Momo stuff and all the other things that are in these standard scanners. Maybe you have to configure how much volume you want to look at. A million different parameters to screen for a million different set of instruments. And normally, a scanner is only either going to look at stocks or futures or Forex. It's not going to look at all three. And if you look here, there may be filters you can use, but it doesn't really give you a trade. I mean, it's telling you that Xilinx is gapped to the upside. It doesn't make Xilinx a tradable stock or a good entry. This may be Celgene, I'm not sure. It's really the only ticker I know here. Here's Garmin. Any of these parameters don't necessarily constitute any kind of a good trade. Relative volume leaders. It's helpful to know what's moving on big volume, but it doesn't necessarily make this a good trade. Now, if this was smart enough to put, say, a gapper in with volume, in with relative with RSI, in with high of day and momentum, add all those together, and then give you on one instrument a buy or sell signal, that's a real scanner. All this is a data aggregator. It shows you tons of data. It aggregates it all into basically a dashboard, and you have to sort it all out. And you may have to look at 50 or 60 stocks before you can even come close to one that may potentially be tradable. That is not what's going on here. Now, if we look at Home Depot, we can see it's in the same position. We've got background bias green. So Home Depot is aligned to the upside. on multiple time frames. We're trading a 5. It's aligned on the 15, and it's aligned on the 45-minute. The correlative markets are green. So money is flowing into Home Depot. The multi-time frame Laguerre, as an assessment of momentum, is aligned to the upside. And although it did just a little tail here, we've got our chart Laguerre heading up. So we've got a night, we're in a terrific position to buy Home Depot right now on a break of the 15. Only the market's just shut, so we can't do anything. So this does what most scanners and analyzers should do. It is the aggregator, and it provides you with the best trades. Now, let me make sure that I have let me add to my connections. Oh, I have my FX data feed. So let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Here it is. Whoops, that was the chart. Hold on a second here. All right. Now the Aussie dollar is flat. We have no trade because we have no alignment in trend. We have the quant green, so money is flowing into it. We have the multi-time frame Laguerre heading up, but it's not locked up, and it doesn't have to be. It is heading up. We have our chart Laguerre green, locked long, but we don't have a multi-time frame alignment and trend. And we only want to trade the best Forex pairs, the best stocks. And this one is simply not the best because we need that multi-time frame alignment. Here's where we had it, right here. And we had it right here. And you see what happened right here on the market. Right off the 50. Straight down. This is why you don't have to sit and watch, because you can put 18 Forex pairs in the analyzer and simply wait for one of them to go green or red and then move it and trade it. And this is the Dow 30. I just stuck them all in as a big basket. Now it's super easy to modify. If you want to add an instrument, you can just go say, you want to go to the Dow 30 and you want to add the whole Dow 30. I just did it. You just select all, and the entire Dow 30 will be imported into the analyzer. Now there's the DAX. Let's take a look at some futures. Let's select all, and I just added all the futures in. They're all down here. It's going to take a while for them to accumulate data. Some of them are dead, actually. But let's take a look at the RTY, because it's giving us a sell. If the market's dead, there's always the chance that you're not going to get a signal. Now here's the Russell, and you can see it's in a perfect position for a short trade. The correlative markets on the Russell are strong, because what is the Russell looking at? It's looking at the NASDAQ. It is looking at the E-mini, and it is looking at the Dow. That's what's in this red line. Here's the multi-time frame assessment of momentum. And look at the chart momentum. It's locked short. The 50's red, the 15's red, and most importantly, the multi-time frame analysis of the Russell to the downside is red, short. So you're in a position for a great trade. Now, right now, there's no volume, but here's where you got your trade. Right here. And if you stuck with it, which you should have, you're going to get a signal, and you've got to move all the way down. That's a very, very big move. And you actually could have gotten in here, or even in here. It's pretty rare. And this is I think it's a lot more than 20.5 ticks. I don't want to say it's not 200 ticks, but it's from, let's see, it's from 77.8 to 62. This is, I mean, this might be 200 ticks. I'm not exactly sure how far down, but this is an enormous trade on a 5-minute chart. You know what happened to the market all day? It just completely tanked. There's your perfect entry. So let's bring up the scanner or the analyzer. And let me show you some of the ways you can configure it. Now, if you go to columns, right here, it's super simple. If you want to add an instrument, we just did. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to the columns. We're going to go to scanner. And let's say that you want to trade, instead of a 5-minute, you want to trade a 1-minute. So what you have to do is you have to change the settings on the chart. Because what you always have to put in here, in minutes, because you're trading minutes, is 3 times or 3-minute. You're just going to go to 3. I'm sorry, this stays 15. This is a 3, 3, and 3. It's going to change the whole analyzer. But now you have to change the chart to a 1-minute. And that's a fast chart. But now we can look at the right edge again and see exactly what we're going to get on the Russell. It looks like we're still going to get the RTY here is flat. And the reason it's flat is because look at the chart here. It's up now on the 1-minute. We have a multi-time frame trend to the downside. We have all the correlative markets red. We have the multi-time frame assessment of momentum red, but our chart momentum is turned green. No longer do we have any alignment. So now the Russell has gone flat. Now on a 1-minute, we're getting a sell on the Dow, the YM. And let's take a quick look at the YM. For some reason, I'm not getting a quant assessment on the YM. I don't know why that is. Let's see here. Maybe because the market's closed. I don't know. Let me just refresh the chart. Now I'm not getting a quant on the YM, and I don't think it's yellow. Oh, it is. It's just yellow. Now, the analyzer is giving us a sell, as if this is red. Let me go back and make sure I changed all the settings correctly on the analyzer. Let's see, quant 3, 3, 3, and I think I did. Well, it's not quite a sell because we don't have a red line here. And I don't know why we're getting that. It might be because of the fact that the market is dead. So we're not even getting any data on the gold. We'll take a look at the E-mini. The E-mini is flat. Let's look at one other future. And see here we have no alignment at all. Our quant is yellow. Our multi-time frame Laguerre is heading down. Our chart Laguerre is heading up. And we don't have dark pink background. That's the strongest multi-time frame alignment of trend to the downside. 50 is yellow, 15 is yellow, and we are flat on the E-mini. Now, I can really look at anything you want on any time frame. The scanner is really easy to configure. And it really encompasses absolutely all the information that you get in your standard analyzer that you might see here. If the gapper is moving up and you've got everything aligned, you're going to get a buy. It's obviously you're going to have to check volume, but you're going to see that on the chart. I mean, we have it in 3 different places on our chart. We use RSI extremes. Our oscillator is not the RSI. We use the Laguerre. And we don't look to fade RSI. We look to take trades in the direction of the Laguerre as a momentum assessment. Now, high of day, Momo scanner, and low volume. I don't, if you want to trade a breakout or one of those are the trades that have been creating bankruptcy for traders for the past 20 years. Now, there are just a few things I want to show you. Real quickly, I'm going to do it on Paint. Because there's a lot of scanners that do this. They look for falling triangles and rising triangles. They look for channels. They analyze patterns. They'll even look at, obviously, this is a bull flag pattern right here. Forget what's inside. They'll look for a breakout of a pattern like this. or they'll look for a breakout of a channel, or for a break down of a falling triangle. These are very risky and very commonly fail. Other scanners, I mean, this is a pattern I actually like, but I'm not going to take it off a scanner. It's got to be something I follow. I mean, here's your bull flag collapse. And then consolidation. And you move up. Then consolidation. Then you move up. Then consolidation. Then you move up, etc., etc. These are good patterns, but they fail way too often. Here's your level of resistance. And here's the key. During this move up, right here, what you want is our market analyzer to give you a buy signal. That's all you care about. You're not going to care about whether it's part of a rising or falling triangle or whether it's part of a bull or bear flag pattern. All you're going to care about are the parameters that we monitor. And that are the multi-time frame alignment and trend. You want this long trade to come when your instrument you're trading is aligned to the upside on multiple time frames. You want the correlative markets. If you're trading the E-mini, you want the Russell and the NASDAQ and the Dow to be trading up with you. They're not going to trade up with you 100% of the time. But when they do, it's going to confirm that you're almost always going to get a move up also when the correlative markets move up. And the multi-time frame assessment of momentum is really an assessment of buying and selling pressure. And when it locks green to the long side, it's telling you that there's so much buying pressure. Remember, momentum is an assessment, of price consolidation, of price acceleration. And as long as momentum is locked long, you've got tremendous buying power or buying pressure. And you've got to have momentum on your trading chart as well. So if you have all those three things, you're going to get a green buy signal, on the analyzer. And that's all that you should care about. Should it matter that it's part of a rising, it's a bull flag pattern and coming out of consolidation, although you'll probably be able to see that. All you care about is that you're going to get a continuation to the upside. And all of these parameters, listen, nothing's 100% guaranteed. But if you take a long trade, say on the E-mini, and the Russell, NASDAQ, and Dow are also going up, the likelihood of your trade going up is really high. You're not going to get a buy without that. You're not going to get a buy if you say you're trading the Russell and that instrument isn't aligned to the upside on 3 time frames. And you're also not going to get a buy unless momentum is aligned to the upside on the 2 higher time frames and your chart. That makes this area extremely low risk to take a long trade. The only other thing that you have to be careful of is, I don't have it right here, but here's where you would have gotten a signal for a short trade. And here's exactly what I wanted to show you. Now you're going to be flashing red all along here. Let me just get the line here. Now, first of all, right here, you've got momentum moving in your direction. You're going to get a small, if you took the signal, you get a small short trade. But what you really want to do is have price retrace as far back to resistance as possible on a short trade. Then take your short. Now the key here though is that if you entered this trade anywhere while you were getting a sell signal, now you weren't going to get it when the chart Laguerre was heading up. You're not going to get the signal. You would get it when it starts to head down. And you would get it on the orange, because it means the multi-time frame analysis of momentum is heading down, then lockdown. And here's your perfect trade. But no matter where you took it, it's impossible to lose money. It's simply a matter of getting the most advantageous entry, which happens to be right here on a pullback all the way to dual resistance. And there's your best trade. Now, and you're going to get a signal as long as the Laguerre right here is where you're going to start to get a signal. But if you took the trade anywhere here, you're going to get a winner. That is the most any analyzer can do. It's not a Momo breakout. It's not telling you about relative strength. It's not telling you whether the stock is gapped. It's telling you the direction it's going to move with incredibly high likelihood. And it's right, it is just like that. And I could show you multiple examples of that. I've got to reload the chart, unfortunately. Now, so listen, it's not always going to align. And that's the whole point of this scanner. You want to wait for that alignment to occur. This is like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm going to see if there are any questions, because it's really the same for any instrument. And here's simply the previous day. You've got to reload. And you're going to get a long signal here. Now you lose the long-term Laguerre. And I'm not giving you a trading methodology, but any trade taken right here like this on a signal, long, right here, is going to give you a winner. This is really going to get you into very low-risk trades. And there's no way you could get out of this trade without making money. No way. And then you get this entry right here. So it's not that you're going to open the chart and get an immediate entry signal. Software generated entries are never any good. You've got to use a little bit of your discretion, but it's going to provide you with the areas in which the trading opportunities are really going to be low risk and of tremendous advantage. And I'll just show you this on one stock. Well, let's take a stock we have here. Why don't we do DD? I think DD is Dow DuPont. Yep. And right here is the signal. It's coming right at the end. And this is just about to turn green on the 1 minute. The problem with some of these is it's the last second of the market. Let me find one other instrument here. Let me find Disney. Okay. Now, I'm sure it's because the market is closed. But you can see where Disney is heading. And you are getting a buy signal on it. Now, blue background is okay, but there's something wrong with the quant after the market's closed. And I just don't know what it is. See, here's your great buy right here on Disney. About right here, almost right here. So this is what you're getting, the most opportune places to trade. And I can't reload the scanner. And probably if I did, a lot of these colors might change. Because unfortunately, the way NinjaTrader works on fractal analysis doesn't do a great job when you look back. So let me see if there are any questions. Let me just bring up the analyzer. And you can look at instruments. You can look at stocks, futures, Forex at the same time. You can always change the time frame. If you go to Market Scanner, it doesn't matter whether you trade minutes, range, tick, or Renko. It's all in here. Now let me just show you the offer that we're making you. I don't have it. I really don't have it as completed as I like. But here's our market analyzer. It works on stocks, futures, and Forex. It's normally $13.99, and we're offering it for $497. It's a lifetime license. It's free upgrades. Well, we will configure everything for you. If anything doesn't work, we'll fix it. I mean, Sergio's an incredible programmer. You also get, which I didn't have time to type in, you're going to get 450 videos, our 10 video tutorial series, and you're going to get a month in the live trading room with me. And the offer expires on Sunday. I don't have the date, but that's the offer. So let me see if there are any questions. Now here's our numbers, 732-4656. And here's the scanner. And let me tell you, it is 100% accurate in a live market. And you could format it like this or like this. And it will scan essentially an unlimited number of stocks, futures, or Forex. you want to look at the whole NASDAQ 500, it'll do it for you. So it doesn't make any difference. And it also doesn't make any difference what you trade, the time frame that you trade. And if certain instruments like this you don't follow, you just go to columns. There's a way of deleting the column. Here it is, remove a row. Let's say you don't follow crude oil, you don't have a data feed. You just take it out. You don't have a gold data feed. You take it out. You don't have a bond data feed. Now I just put in this thing as a basket, but you can always remove it row by row. So it's very, very easy to format. And these buy signals are excellent. And the thing that it's going to save you an enormous amount of time is not watching stocks that are listed as flat. They have no multi-time frame alignment and trend. There's no alignment in money flow. There's no alignment in the multi-time frame assessment of momentum. And there's no sense in watching them because they're not going to give you a very low risk, potentially high reward trade. So it saves you a lot of time. And all the analysis is done right on the analyzer itself. So let me see if there are any questions. Oops. Okay. There are some, so let me go through them. Okay, Ford. Okay, thanks, guys. Okay, Kisha. Kishore, I didn't look at it. Let me go back to look. You were asking me about McDonald's. Well, now I'm on a 1 minute, which may not show you the same signal as the one you were looking at. Now here's the alignment and here's the trade. Now your question was, why at 12:15? This background bias is not strong enough to generate a signal. I'm not going to go into all the different powers of the different colors. That's one. Number two, look at the chart gear. The chart gear is heading down. And the analyzer is not going to give you any buy signal on that. Remember, all of those parameters have to align, and there's no alignment there. One, although you can only take a long trade, it's very risky long. And two, you can't take it because the gear on the trading chart is really doing nothing but going flat to the downside. So you would get no buy signal triggered right here at 12:15, right around here, none. Just based on the gear alone, you wouldn't. Okay, Kishore? Right now, Jeffrey, it's only going to work on Ninja 8 because it does need the power of 8. We have it on 7, but it's really I don't want to mislead anybody, and it's one of the things that I never do. 7's is a little quirky And right now, I think if you're really interested in it, I would run it off of 8. It's very easy to format on 8, and you can drop 8. I mean, you do not have to project any charts. This is going to give you the signals without showing a chart. So although it's formatted on 8, you can trade it on 7. But we're going to configure it for you on 8, and you can have 7 and 8 open at the same time. You don't really need much processing power on your computer for that, especially if you have no charts. Now, I don't want to click all the charts out because I want to keep them, but this does not require all the indicators that run it are built into it. So the only reason I opened this was to show you this. Most of these, I don't have the charts open, and it's still generating a signal. So it's really easy to format on 8 for you, and just trade it on 7. It's really that simple. Okay, Raj, not a problem. Add instrument. Search. DAX. It's flat. Let's put the DAX in here. That's flat. Got nothing on a 1 minute. It'll work with the DAX real easily. And Keith is going to be trading the DAX. And you can see here you have no alignment in anything. You have no quant. The gear's down. Price is really above the 50. 15's above the 50. There's nothing here to trade. And you get a flat DAX. The broker, George, doesn't matter, but it's only going to work on NinjaTrader 7 or 8. I mean, that's what it's configured for. And I really have to stress, if you're a Forex trader and you want to watch 18 Forex pairs, or if you're a stock trader and you want to watch 25 or 30 stocks, you don't care about the individual relative strength. If you want to use this tool to find stocks for you to get into, good luck. Because I would not know how to do it. I mean, like I said, none of these individual parameters create a good trade. The fact that the stock is gapped, or it's a relative volume leader, it gives you information, but it doesn't tell you you got any kind of a good trade. It's like I said, it's a big assembly of data, and unless something integrates it, I don't think it's of much value. This does that integration. So if you're interested in trading the NASDAQ, you can scan the whole NASDAQ 500. So all you have to do is add it as a basket. Add instrument. Well, it's a NASDAQ 100, and you can select all of them. And you're going to get every stock on the NASDAQ 100. Now, it's going to take a while for all that to load, but it's just that simple. That's a lot of data, so you're going to have to give it a minute. I just threw 100 stocks in there. Hey, thank you for it. I did already, Raj. I saw your question. I put the DAX in. The FDAX is right here. So now they're all coming in. So we're getting 1 billion signals on 100 stocks. And the DAX is right here, flat. And here's your chart of the DAX. And it doesn't matter whether you trade it on minute, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, 8 range, 13 range, tick, doesn't make any difference. It's real easy to configure the scanner to look for that particular, look for that, look for what you're trading. Gene, I can't show today how it performed because I would have to, I mean, I know what you want me to do, Gene. And I can show you remember I did show you the Russell. And if we go to futures, we can add the Russell. And the only thing I can do is show you when you're going to get a buy or a sell signal on the Russell. I mean, that's easy to determine. And if we look right here at the open, you're going to get a sell signal right here. And like I said, if you continue to hold it, you got a winner. It's going to come back. But this is going to open right at 9:30 with a sell. And down it goes. And you're going to get another sell signal right around here. It's going to retrace and then come right back down again. It's easier to let the scanner do it because it's looking at the direction of the Laguerre on your trading chart. You want to make sure that the Laguerre on your trading chart is heading down. But you can see that throughout this move red, every time you got a retracement to resistance, I can get the arrow here. You're down. As long as the Laguerre on your chart's going down. Here you don't have a trade because the 15 is heading up. Not going to get a signal. Remember, the 15 and the 50 have to be red. You're going to get a signal here. You're going to get a signal here. And here's what you're looking for. The big move. And here's what you're looking for. Right here. It's always going to put you in the right direction. And then finally, you get the monster move. Right here. That's a huge move. But you're never going to get caught in the wrong direction. Now you have no signal. And that's basically the Russell. Every time you got to pull back to resistance and everything was aligned to the downside, you got a winner to the short side, Gene. It's going to do 1,000 times better than looking at relative strength, momos, and breakouts. Although that is more on stocks than it is on futures. Now, the important thing also, Gene, is that when you have these colors, no background at all, and there's just nothing here. Now this is the middle of the night. And here we go. Still in the middle of the night. This is when you're not going to trade. Now here the market is open. And look what happens when you're green, right here. This is an incredible trade. I mean, this is a perfect long entry. You could take it here, but you're going to be, the analyzer is going to be screaming for you to buy right off of support. And basically, depending upon your risk tolerance, you can take the trade all the way up here. You can take it off wherever you want. but there's no way you can't make great money here. And then chasing it up. It's right here. Pull back right off support. And there's your next great trade. That's yesterday. So it really gives you, it's giving you a great area to trade. And I want to stress that. It doesn't mean open and press the buy button. It means open and watch for a long trade on a pullback to support, open, watch a short trade, pull back to resistance, and then take the trade short, and then take the trade long, and saves you the trouble of having to watch when there is no alignment, like right here. So for all this time, you're not even going to look. Trade something better. This pink background won't signal. It's not strong enough. Here's where you get the trades, right here. And see how the chart Laguerre is locked long? No signal here. None. And we are trading at 4 o'clock in the morning. But you can see it points you in the direction, and it's going to give you great entries. And it's going to prevent you from having to watch multiple instruments that you're just never going to get an entry on. Scott, we give you all that software. The Laguerre software and all that stuff, we give you. It's inside the analyzer. So when you get the analyzer, all of the indicators that you see here that are used to generate the signals are inside it. So that's the only reason why I can give you a buy or a sell, because it's looking at the color of the 50, it's looking at the color of the 15, it's looking at the quant, it's looking at the long-term Laguerre, it's looking at the direction of your chart Laguerre, and it's looking at price. It will never give you a signal on a short trade. It'll never say sell unless price is below the 50. And it'll never give you a signal to trade long unless price is above the 50. It's been programmed not to signal counter trend trades. We don't want you taking counter trend trades. They're terrible trades. It's created to give you great trades in the direction of money flow, multi-time frame alignment of correlative markets, trend, and momentum. And so it's looking at where price is on your trading chart. It's a really smart tool. And it's doing that on multiple time frames. And when it isn't giving you a buy or sell signal, don't even bother looking at it, because you're not going to get, there may be an entry, but it's going to be a very high risk one. And you're not going to want to take that. It's the whole point of it. Stay ultra conservative. Now, I don't even know if I don't think Computer Associates is around anymore. I'll tell you the truth. I don't know why it's still in there. But I don't know where my dilemma, I'm just going to leave it there. But I don't think that, I don't think CA is a ticker anymore. I may be wrong. Mo, we're in the process of automating it. It's going to take us a little bit of time, and we're still working on it. And it turns out that in order to create an automated system, I have to have a Series 7 license based on the information I received from my attorney on what the CFTC is now requiring, because they believe that automated traders are traded live, and we're an educational company. So I need to get an active broker-dealer license to automate. But we're right. I mean, essentially, we have the auto, and It does a lot. It does more than this, but the constraint of the auto is that it's only configured for 7 instruments, and those 7 instruments are all futures. If you want to scan the Forex markets and you want to scan stocks, right now we don't have a scanner. And also remember that stocks, I mean, you can't use an automated system to trade Amazon like you would to trade advanced micro devices. You can't trade a $1,500 stock the same way you trade a $25 stock. I haven't looked at an AMD in a while. I don't know where it's trading at, but it's very difficult to automate stocks because they're so different in size in terms of their price. It's easy to automate Forex and futures, and we're pretty much done with futures. I just need to get the okay to release with the broker-dealer license. Absolutely, Jeff. If you want to trade a 1 hour or a 15-minute, it'll be looking at a 45-minute and then 3 times 45 minutes. So you can definitely use it to swing trade. And I mean, it's a really good swing trading tool because swing traders sit and watch for such a long period of time. All you got to do is just go to go to Market Scanner, and let's say you want to trade a 20-minute chart. The next higher time frame is 3 times that. It's an hour. And the next higher time frame after that, it's 3 hours. So when your 20-minute, your 1 hour, and your 3 hours align, they'll give you a signal. Now you're going to see, I mean, eventually it's going to collect the data. You're going to see if you have any swing trading potential entries right now. It's going to take, here they are, here they come. It may not load the futures because the futures are dead. Oh, there, it's loading them all. And you know, you got opportunities here to trade. I'm surprised. Those are your swing trading entries, Jeffrey. Good, Jordan. I'm glad you got it. Joaquin. Yeah, exactly, Joaquin. You can just buy or sell off the scanner. If you purchase the scanner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold a master class because here's what you're going to look for. It's really simple. When you get pink background, you want to take a trade. It's a little bit beyond the scope of this, but what you want to do is take a trade off resistance down, because nothing will ever prevent a retracement back to resistance. So as soon as you get the scanner, now right here you could take in a great short trade. Then you wait for the retracement. The scanner will light up again when the long-term Laguerre, and down you go. That's all there is. If you see a sell, you just don't run and sell. You just wait for a pullback to resistance, the scanner to fire again if you lose the scanner, and down you go. It's really that's all there is. And you get the same thing here. It's moving sideways, and look at the long-term Laguerre. It's green. You're not going to get a signal. As soon as you get this candle, get your signal, and down you go. This is the Russell. So this is a lot of money for every tick. I mean, it's really just that simple. And when you got this kind of background color, this is not when the market's trading. You just don't trade. Stay away. When you've got cyan, stay away. And then when you've got the green, the analyzer is going to look and look at this trade. This is your perfect trade right there, all the way up. Whoops, I don't know where it went, but you saw. It's all you need to do. And I'm telling you, that's the best you're going to get off an analyzer or off a scanner. I mean, would you rather be looking for Momo breakouts and highest volume and relative strength stocks and gappers and pre-market movers? This doesn't give you any potentially useful information. Just gives you a lot of, I mean, it's, it's just, like I said, it's just an aggregate of an enormous amount of data that in no way provides you with a buy or sell signal. It's just a 1 ton of stuff I could not follow. And that's supposed to be one of the best scanners. No, Jeff, it is done and going out. The exit of the trade is really based upon you, Jeff. Remember, it's really, most companies don't even discuss your automatic trade management strategy. But if you want me to, I'll work with you on it, okay? Because it's really not part of the webinar. What the webinar is to do is to show you an area where getting a trade entry is absolutely the best area you can have. How you manage the trade afterwards is really based on your own risk tolerance. And there's a lot of factors involved. But if you need help, I will work with you, I promise you. No, we're getting it out. We're getting it out, Jeff. Well, remember, Gene, listen, it does exactly what I'm telling you. I have never proffered anything in a webinar that didn't do what I said. And all these colors are configurable. Like if you click this, if you want, you can modify these colors. Don't worry about that. I also remember you're seeing this, it's being broadcast through GoToWebinar. I'm telling you, these are vivid colors and very bright, but you can always change them. Don't worry about the colors. You can't change the colors of the analyzer though. I mean, they're fixed as a buy or sell, but your background color, your quant, these can all be modified if you like. So thank you so much. James writes, Mark came in late. Just wanted to say that the 2 new indicators are great. Thanks for what you guys do. And James, thank you so much. Gene, we don't have it alarmed, but if you want to, I'll have Sergio alarm it for you. You can get one kind of bing on a sell and one kind of bing on a buy. Personally, the reason I didn't want it alarmed is because if you track 25 or 30 instruments, you're going to get so many beeps, so many bangs, so many booms in a fast moving market that I personally think it's going to drive you nuts. But if you want it alarmed, we'll be happy to do it. Putting a wave file in this is super easy to fire on any sell or fire on any buy. And if you only want to scan a few instruments, it's worthwhile. But if you want to scan 100 stocks, you're going to go nuts if you trade a 3-minute, because they're going to be going off all the time. So it's really up to you. If you want it, I'm giving you the reason why I didn't want it alarmed. But if you want it alarmed, Sergio will put a wave file in for you when he logs onto your computer and configures the whole system. I'll tell them to add a WAV file for you. It's not a big deal. Like I said, Kishav, it'll work on any time frame. Right now, it's analyzing a 20-minute. If you want to, when you go to Market Scanner, you can have it trade a 60-minute. I mean, a 1-hour bar, that is, without a doubt, a swing trading time frame. And now, the buy-sell signals are going to be based off the 60, the 180, and 3 times the 180 are all the time frames. Now, Apple's a sell on that long-term time frame, but it could have been, Apple could have been a sell for a week. I mean, we have to check where it is, and what you want to do is get in when you first get the sell signal, because that's where you're probably going to get the juiciest trade. And McDonald's has been a buy for a long time. I follow McDonald's. It's been rising for a very long time. So, and Apple's been falling for a very long time. Now it's heading back up, but on a long-term time frame basis, it's still flashing a sell. And it doesn't matter the time frames. Talk. Daniel, why don't you make it 9? Okay? Sure. And then we'll look at the stock, okay? We'll go to a column. Let's go to the columns. Go to Market Scanner. And we'll go to day. And we'll put in a 1 day. Oh, here we got to go to day. 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 And we're going to put in 1, 1, 1. Let's get the data. And then we'll show a daily chart of whatever's flashing, a buy or a sell. Now this is creating, it's got to suck in a lot of data. So let's give it a minute. It's still accumulating data. So far there isn't one, but we'll go to a couple that are listed as flat. I'd be surprised if we don't get one buy or sell on a. Remember, we're looking at a 1 day, a 3 day, and a 9 day. They all have to align, or you get no signal. So you're looking for a lot on a daily. When you get that signal, you could be in that trade for a week or longer. Let's just keep waiting. All right, well, we're getting flat across the board. Let's go to one. Go to Boeing. Go to BA. And let's change the day, change the time to 1 day. You can see it's a mess. Daniel. Oh, there it is. Hang on 1 second. Hold on. Now, the only reason I have to do this is because I'm showing the indicators. You're not going to have to show the indicators, but I have to, if I want to project the MTF, I got to show it. If I want to project the MTF, I have to show 1 day, and the modified Laguerre is good to go. Let me just make sure I did this all right. There's 1 day. Here's 1 day. And that's the chart. There's just no alignment. It's the problem. It's just really a mess. I mean, you almost got background alignment here to the upside. Now, let me just look at bias. Oh, I didn't change it. I knew there was a problem. Day 1. There we go. So there's a signal right there on the gapper. And up you go. There's another signal right here. Short. Easy trade. Real easy, because it's right off resistance to the short side. And these are daily bars. See, nothing aligns here. Nothing aligns here. It does here, but you got to take the trade off support. And at the time of support, the 15 was below the 15, you won't get a signal. So that's a daily. And if we go back, I'm sure we're going to see even more trades. Here's another one. It's a really nice trade, but it's moving laterally. And up you go. And these are obviously very big moves. This is a move from 358 to 393 on a daily. And those are that's all the data I loaded. So you can see it's very powerful on a daily. And it doesn't matter what time frame you use. Now, I had to reconfigure the indicators for the time. You're not going to have the indicators, and you don't need them, because the scanner is telling you everything that you got. It's giving you all the data, everything. And they're all built in to here. Now, okay, are there any other questions? Now, if you would feel more comfortable with us displaying the indicators, I can talk to Sergio about that. Just let me know. I mean, if it's also something you want to see, you can. I mean, they already come on your chart. We just have them in the analyzer. And what I actually thought was it would be easier to give you this. Well, you're going to get the 50 and the 15, or whatever chart that you have, and just combine it with this. But if you believe it's easier off the analyzer to see those instruments that it's using to create the signals, it's not a problem to put them in. Just let us know. It's not, the scanner, yeah. I mean, listen, I always want to make them educational. T-Sharp, I hope you learn. It's $497 lifetime. And we will make it better. I mean, if you've been with our company for 5 years, all we do is come out with new versions of everything. You always get free updates and upgrades. We never charge you again. And you get 1 month in the live trading room. You get the 450 videos. You get our 10 module video tutorial sessions. And also, I will do a master class for everyone that comes aboard. And we'll go through individual trades. Just looking for a pullback to resistance for a short and a pullback to support for a long. It's really very, very, very simple to trade. So that's the price for everything. It's a one-time payment. You're never going to pay us again. If we make it better, you get the better version. All right, well, listen, everyone, thanks so much for coming aboard. I really appreciate your time. You have a great evening, and I wish you all the best. Take care, all. Bye-bye.